My Claude Code limit is hit, and what better time to show to you how I use my local models running on LM Studio, as you can see Qwen 3.59 billion model, and use Claude Code with it. So you can see what model are you using is able to give me the output here. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to configure everything. But essentially what we have is this. So if you use a normal Claude subscription, you get something like this. You have Claude Code, then you have the Anthropic models, and we get the response here. But now what you're doing is we're creating this local server using LM Studio, and we are using the port 8082 and creating this local server where there are LLMs, and the service that I'm using is LM Studio. You can do this with NVIDIA NIM, which I've created a different video. You can do this with Llama, Llama CPP, Open Router, you name it. But in this video, let's go ahead and see how to set this LM Studio server up, which is running local LLMs on my local system on my PC, and then I'm going to use Claude Code to send request to this local host and get you the response. So everything is local. I have a GPU, but you don't even need a GPU. You just need about 8 GB RAM, I would say. So let's go ahead. So what I have is, first of all, I have LM Studio running here, and you can see it is running a local server here, and this is reachable here. Then we have this local server running, which starts up an 8082 port here, and let's do this interconnection. Let's get started. I'm going to close up everything and show you from the start. Let's go. Give me a moment. Well, first and the foremost thing that you need is to go to lmstudio.ai and download this for Windows, Mac and Linux, same as usual. We have the instructions somewhere. So I downloaded this for Windows, and then I'm going to go ahead and open up LM Studio. I'm particularly interested in a model known as Qwen 3.5 because that seemed to fit in my device. So I go to the selector model here, and basically you can go ahead and download the models. So essentially you can go to this button here, go to model search here, and then look for models that we want. So I'm looking for Qwen 3.5, and this was the model that I downloaded. So you will have the option to download the model, get it, download it, and then you will be able to see the models here. So I have this model here. Then if I go to this button, the chat one, I can load the model here. So I'm going to load this model by clicking here. It's a GGUF version of Qwen 3.59 billion. I have an 8 GB GPU, 16 GB RAM, and this model seems to fit. You can try out other models depending on your configuration, but this is 6.10 GB, and then I click, and here's the important thing which differentiates it from Llama. You can manually, it's easy, you can choose there as well, but you can easily choose the context length that you're looking at. You know, I'm looking at a context length greater than about 60. Let's go with 70, and 70K it's fine. And GPU offload, you can reduce it, and keeping in mind that this GPU value 7.18, this should be less than my GPU, so which is 8 GB. So I'm going to keep it like this, and then we have other settings as well, but I can say load model. Now this will load the model here. Now once the model is loaded here, you can go to this developer button here, and then it will be off when you start it for the first time, and you can see that the model is loaded here. And then we can start status here. So you can start the server here. So you can start the local server, and you can see on the right, this local server is reachable at this. So localhost 1234. So essentially this is the port in which LM Studio is running as of now. So we have the LLM ready and running in a local system. We can even chat with the model here. So go ahead and create a new chat and say 1+9, and you can see it's spinning up the assistant, processing the prompt, thinking, analyze the request. A little bit slower now because I have my recording software here, but you get the idea. So this model is working. Thought for 18 seconds, and you get 1+9 is 10. Really good. 5.53 tokens per second, under 13 tokens because it includes the thoughts as well. Time to first token is 1.29, and the stop reason is pretty good because it reached the end of sequence token. So this LM Studio is working. Let it run here, and I'm gonna go to this repo of free Claude Code. You can check out this video when I've shown you how to do this with NIM, NVIDIA free endpoints. There it's even free than the LM Studio that we're doing here, because in LM Studio we are using our own resources, our own hardware. In this video we use the inference from NVIDIA, but let's go ahead and do it for LM Studio in this video. So this is a beautiful repo. It shows how to get your free Claude Code connected So for this, I would need a Visual Studio Code Editor, and I already have installed Visual Studio Code Editor on my system. Go ahead and use any other code editors that you want. You can go ahead and download for Windows here and get it installed. Next, I'm going to go to this repo and copy this repo to clipboard. Go to any folder that I want. So let's go to this new folder. I'm going to say CMD here to open up command prompt here, and then I'm going to say code space dot enter. If this doesn't open up Visual Studio Code Editor, there might be some changes in your settings, but in that case you can open up Visual Studio Code Editor and just file open that folder. Okay, so I'm in that folder, which is Claude LM Studio, and then I'm going to go to terminal here, new terminal here. Then I'm going to go to Windows PowerShell, because this works fine on PowerShell because there are some commands which needs admin permission. I can go ahead and say git clone and put in the repo. So this will clone the repo here. So free Claude Code, we have the entire repo here. I'm going to change directory to the free Claude Code, and then I'm going to say clear. So this much is done. Then what you can do is you can see the instructions and you can see the repo as well. It's growing fast. It's really cool. People are using it. I've created about 2-3 videos. Go ahead and check this out. First and foremost, we need a UV installation. So I'm going to zoom this in, a package manager, which is really good. So I'm working on Windows PowerShell. So I copy this and I paste it here. Paste and run this. So this is going to install UV, UVEXE, UVX, UVW, and this will be installed. As you can see, you can go ahead and see it here. So it installed everything, and I ran UV self update as well here already on the recent version, and I installed UV Python install 3.4 as well. So this is going to install this Python 3.14. So having done this, let me clear this and then I go back. So I have copied these 3 instructions. Python install is done. Then you already git clone the repo. We've changed the directory. Then we need to put this environment variable. So I can say copy environment.example. You can see the environment.example here, this one. So this one we can copy directly manually, or you can just put it here. So you can see that we have the environment variables here. Now going to the environment variables, so you can see that we have different services that you can use. So you can check out this video again for showing for understanding how to do it with NVIDIA NIM API key. But in this case, I'm going to show you that we have different options. For example, NVIDIA OpenRouter, DeepSeek, LM Studio, Llama CPP, or Llama. This video is dedicated to LM Studio. So let's go back to this base URL. As you can see, this is localhost 1234 v1. So you can see that this link, if you already remember, this is working. If you go to local browser or local host here, you can see that it's reachable in 127.0.0.1, 1234. So this is the port that you're talking about. Now they have already pre-configured it. We need this v1 as well, and now we need to change this to LM Studio, and the name of the model, you guessed it right. If you go back, and this is the model that we want. So I copy this model and then I put it here. So I'm looking at Qwen 3.59 billion. Now rest of the things you can keep as it is. Another thing that I want is this one, Anthropic auth token is free CC, and everything else is as it is. You don't need to change anything. So let's go ahead and look at the instructions again, and you can see that we have done all the settings. Now we need to run this. So UV, run UVCon, server app, host, call from anywhere. So that's 0000, and port is 8082. So you're starting up a service on the port 8082 that is using the LM Studio models, which are running on 1234 port. Okay. So it's installed 77 packages. It's so fast because it's UV. So it installed 77 packages, and you can see that UVCon is running on 8082 port. Now we need to keep this port running. Okay, and essentially if we summarize, what is happening is that we have started up a service on the port 8082, and that is using different services, again different LLMs from Llama, LM Studio, Llama CPP, but in this case we're using LM Studio, and we're using this model. And now we can go ahead and do the inference. Okay, now if we go back and we run this command on PowerShell, so copy this, but first and foremost we need to install Claude as well. So I can say Claude install. So if I go to quick start docs here, and then I go to this PowerShell command on Windows, I can copy this and I can go to a PowerShell here. Let's go to a PowerShell, and you can go to a particular directory if you want, but I'm gonna put it in my home directory. Then I can run this command. So this will install Claude Code on your system. I already have, I think, I don't have Claude Code installed on my system as of yet. So I'm gonna see that it appears here. So you can see that setting up Claude Code, setting up launcher, and you can see that Claude.exe is installed now. It gives you the location as well where it is installed. And now we are ready to run that command that I've been talking about. So if you go back to the repo, we have this command. Let me explain what it is. So we are setting the entropic auth token, the environment variable, as freecc, and the environment variable by the name of entropic base URL to localhost 8082. And this is the same port where we have our service of free Claude Code server running 8082, and this 8082 system is using the 1, 2, 3, 4 endpoints in LM Studio. In an LM Studio, you're using this Qwen 3.59 billion model. So this is what I have to do when I have my limits reached here in my pro subscription of Claude Code. Let's go back and see if we can use this. So run this. Okay, it's asking me to quick safety check. Yes, I trust this folder. I say yes. And then we are in this Claude Code pretty interface. So if I say /model and then I go ahead and select this default, then it's of no use the exercise that we have done, because it's going to take the credits from my pro account. But if we look at LM Studio Qwen 3.59 billion and select that, and then we can reduce the effort a bit because it does take time. I can go to effort and choose the different effort. Let me go with low as of now, and then I can say what model are we using, and then send this over. So you can see that what is happening is that when we send this over, if you go to LM Studio, you can see that it's processing, and you can see it's 2% down, or you can see it here, it's 4% done. So it's a little bit slower, but again, if we want to do any task which like repetitive task, you can keep it running and this will give you the output. But anyway, this is what I do when I don't have the limits here. So we can go ahead and test this out, and let me know if you are facing any issues, any doubts. Talking about my system configurations, I don't need that much. As I've said, we just need about 8 GB of RAM, and as a matter of fact, to prove that to you, what I've done is that I've gone to this Hostinger. Okay, I've opened my system here and I can show you what is the usage. So you can see that 97% of my GPU is being used, and you can see the RAM utilization here. Pretty high utilization. I've done that under control, and you can see this is working. You can check out on your system as well how to make that happen, but you can see I'm utilizing my full GPU, and because I want to use it at 100%, and RAM is again utilized as well. So that's pretty good. Now what I was saying is that you don't need a very good system to run these LLMs, and you can see that in Hostinger we have this Ollama, and you can go ahead and run Ollama there as well. So I've tried that. A video is pending from my side, will be brought to you very soon. Let's go back to the answers that we have: 98, 99, and done. So you can see that we get the output. You're using Qwen 3.59 billion Entropic's LM Studio hosted Qwen 3.59 billion variant, which is really cool. So what we have done in this video is we have used our local LLMs using LM Studio, and then we have integrated it with Claude Code. So if you face any issues, let me know in the comment section and I'll be happy to resolve the issues. You can check these videos out on how to use Claude Code with NIM or Claude Code with Ollama, and I'll bring more such videos. Keep watching and subscribe to my channel.